What's up? Today I want to talk to you a little bit about shadow work. I think the shadow is a very important part of your growth, of you really stepping into your personal power. As a mental health therapist, I do enjoy helping others, but I love helping myself realize the things that are in my blind spots that are holding me back as a person and a practitioner. Over the last couple weeks, I really have been working on my shadow self. After my trip from the south of France, I realized that there were things that were in my way that hindered me in my relationship with my partner and my work as a professional, as an entrepreneur. And one of the things that I really realized was I didn't want to be vulnerable because I didn't want to be hurt, right? And I took myself back to my childhood when I needed a certain type of love. But I realized that my parents couldn't give it to me because of their own limitations. And I created a mechanism to deal with that limited love that they were unable to give me. And it's no ding towards them. And it really passed through my other relationships, and it showed up in my current relationship. So over the last couple of weeks, I started really exploring what were the things in my blind spots that held me back from being this amazing person, or what was in my blind spots that I was fearful of being exposed. So what is shadow work, or what's your shadow? Your shadow is everything that you don't want other people to know about you. It's the things you don't like about your personality, right? It's the things that you may judge other people for being, right? So if we think about society as we started growing up, they told us what was right or wrong. And there's a lot of times that we did wrong, but we didn't want society or our friends or family to know about the wrong we did. And those things went into this invisible bag, which is your shadow, and you started carrying those things. And you tried really hard not for those things to come out and come up and for people to see them, but you had no control, and sometimes they came out. So over the course of the weeks, I started really working on my shadow self because I desired a deeper relationship, and also I knew where I wanted to go with my business. And so I started searching, and I started understanding a little bit about the things I didn't like about myself and how they hindered my relationship and how they hindered my progress and success in my business, because I am the face of my business. I have to interact with clients. I have to interact with prospective clients, and I have to interact with where I want to go. How do I see myself? So as I started doing the work, I started being very transparent with myself. I started being transparent with my partner, and I started being transparent with my friends. And that gave me an opportunity to bring my shadow self to the forefront and let my shadow self know that I don't dislike it, that I love it, and that I don't think that anything is wrong with it. And so once I started doing that, I started accepting me. And I came to terms with, if someone didn't like me or love me because of my shadow self, then I'm not going to go back into the corner I'm not going to go back into the corner and then hide. I'm going to embrace who I am and my shadow self, my good, bad, and ugly, because I know when I'm more integrated, that I can accomplish my goals that I set out, that I'm not scared to be found out because I'm leading with every aspect of me. And I know that's hard for all of us. And so something I want you to start doing or thinking about, I want you to take a week, and I want you to really start writing down the things that annoy you about other people. So some people might be like, Marsha, I don't know what's in my shadow. I don't know how to identify it. And that's fine. So my homework is start writing down the things that annoy you about other people. And when you do that, after a week, I want you to notice what are the things that annoy you about those people. And 99.9% of the time, those are the things that you do yourself that's in your shadow. And then you can start working and understanding your shadow self. And you can start doing your shadow work. Shadow work is really important to your present and your future in your relationships, in your professional endeavors, and how you show up in the world. You may be like, whatever, I got it. But it's true. I've done a lot of work on myself. And it wasn't until I started truly integrating my shadow self where I started really tapping into the essence of who I am. Your shadow work is really important. So if we go back to the homework that I think you should do, after that week, you really start wondering and you're starting to see what are the reasons that you get annoyed at somebody that may complain a lot. You might not actively complain out loud to a person all the time, or somebody that lies. You might not like that they lie, but guess what? You probably lie yourself. And you just have to come in harmony with that and understanding the birthplace of that trait. So something I want you to think about. In our shadow selves, we have been told that those weren't appropriate traits to have. So in a book called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, she talks about the shadow. And there's one particular event that she talked about, and she was being a bit, right? And she was scared for others to know that she had that quality. And so she was at a retreat and she had a coach, and the coach said, well, when does that quality serve you? And so the coach said to her, hey, when you're at the auto mechanics and they're maybe talking over you or thinking that you don't know what you are talking about, the quality of being a bitch, right, may need to come out. And so when you start integrating your shadow into your center stage, right, of who you are, then there's times and places for the things that you don't like about yourself to be front, to be center stage, to come out the shadow and to present itself. And so we just have to start thinking about the shadow. If you want to go anywhere, you have to integrate every aspect of yourself. When I started raising the hand of my shadow, or like raising the hand of the qualities in my shadow with my partner, when I started being honest and transparent with my friends and my family, I realized that there's really nothing in my way. I started seeing the obstacles that would show up when I would move forward in my career and even in my relationships. And I realized that I was in my way, that I wasn't integrating my shadow with my present self to help me move forward. So I just want you to think about that. Understand that if you don't connect your shadow self with you, if you don't connect all of them, then your life, you're going to lack abundance. You are going to lack so much that it's going to be hard to move forward. You're going to feel tired. You're just not going to really arrive to your destination whole. And it's going to be so difficult arriving at your destination that you're not going to feel like you're at your destination. Other people might be like, oh, you're wonderful. You've done this, you've done that, but you're not going to feel complete. So shadow work is very important to start doing and working on. When you work through that homework of the week of noticing what irritates you about other people, something I want you to also do is just think about the words that you may describe yourself, the parts, the negative parts, the shadow parts of you that you think you are. So just start there, and we'll continue to talk about shadow work and how you can really unveil the shadow so then you can integrate every aspect of you. Be well, be amazing, and most of all, be you.